Hello, my favorite CopperCube people. Today we're going to have an important milestone. We're going to release our first proof of concept to the real host, and we will see if it actually works, if we can connect to the server through the internet, not on only local machine, and also that way we can test that multiple players can actually play at the same time instead of switching between tabs. So let's go with it. First of all, I've done a little change in one place, and it is right here. We have this function which adds a little name, player name on top of the player. And before, I was asking server to provide me texture for the name, and I was waiting for a couple of seconds or maybe 500 milliseconds, something like that, and I was trying to apply it. And this actually doesn't really work. It's not stable because that way sometimes server response takes too much time and the texture is not applied. So I modified it, and now what it does, it checks if the file is received, if it actually has some sort of data inside the file. In that case, it does. In that case, we apply the texture. In case it doesn't have the content or file is not created, we are asking our not asking our server. We are waiting for 100 milliseconds and try to apply the texture again until it appears. I think it's a little bit better approach, even though I think it's not, like really good design decision to generate the textures on the client and I mean on the server, and probably at some point we will move it to the client. But anyway, doesn't matter. So what we need to do in order to be able to deploy, first of all, we need to specify a host, and the host will be another variable. Since we have this local host mentioned in strings in a lot of places right now, it will be a pain to change it every time. So instead of that, I'm going to have the host variable, and also this host variable to do it will be moved to config at some point. So you can have some sort of configuration file and you can just modify it there, and you don't have to touch the code for that. But for now, I'm just leaving it as it is, since we're having this sort of like you can call it iterative development, which means that basically we're creating a basic functionality and then we're updating it to be more complex. And now we need to update it everywhere. So we have like host plus, and also here we will have host plus, and also here host plus, and right here host plus. And from now on, we are going to be using this host variable in order to store our host data. Let's make sure we didn't break anything, so we still can connect. We still can move. We can still type to the chat, and the second player still appears. He can still see our messages and can also start to send messages, and also this little names feature is still working. So I think currently we can say that everything is ready for the deployment. Well, the only thing which we need to do, we need to actually change our host to the real host I'll be using. So I'll be hosting everything on, as I mentioned before, on a really like cheap Windows machine. I pay almost nothing for it, and I'm going to change the host to its IP. I already connected to it via RDP. It will be like that, like that, like that, and like that. Yeah. And so now instead of localhost, we'll be using a real internet IP, and we are going to be trying to connect to it. The issue is that actually currently I don't have anything deployed to the machine yet, and this is something that we are going to be doing. But first of all, I also, on the server side, do I want to have some sort of login? Let's just have some sort of login maybe. So I'm going to create a log log.txt file, and I'm going to write to this log if someone is connected and how many players I have at the same time. So that way I know that, for example, there is some sort of issue. If someone is connecting, for example, it never disconnects and the amount of players is increasing. And that way I will also know how many players actually tried it, if someone actually tried it. So it's just for the pure interest also. But it also has a practical, how is it called? I mean, application for it. So we will do fs file. Okay, we can just do it in after send. So we just do fs append file, and here we will have our file name, right? So it will be, let's just create a log file name here, and we will call it log.txt. And here I can't remember how it does it. So it will be path, it will be data, and also we will have the, so it will be like log file name here when we need to send data, and data will be like something like player.name is connected, current amount of players is players dot length, something like that. And we can also maybe specify the date here like that. New date up to ISO string. So let's, I'm not sure, yeah, I'm just running it with node index, so I'll just run it again, node index, and we'll see if login is actually working. So now I'm connected and something went wrong. Ah, okay, it's just because, okay, I see. It's because I already changed the host to the remote host and I won't be able to remove, yeah. Once again, let's go here. Let's identify where we have this client. No, it's not here. Client, where are you? CopperCube, exe, no, not. It's not here. Why can't I remove that one? I can. Okay, so let's just really quickly change it back to, I'm sorry, to localhost and see if we can still connect. And we'll see if our index log file has something. No, it doesn't. Why? Can't I send it? Okay, it's just because I also need to have the callback. It doesn't work with the call without callback. So it will be like that, and then we will have, it's only error, right? So we'll just console log error. Does it have message? Yes, error message like that. And let's first of all finish the game. Let's start again. Let's run the game. And now, what happened now? It doesn't have property message, and the server. Why doesn't it have property message? Okay, I don't even understand why it doesn't append to the file, even though it should. I didn't get it. Anyway, let's just try it again. Maybe I'm just, not maybe, I mean, I'm just doing something wrong here, but we will figure out eventually, as usual. So now we are here. Let's check the log. It doesn't have any errors right now. So if you check the log file, it says that is connected. Current amount of players is 1. Why does it connected current amount of players? Why? Okay. It's because it wrote this thing a couple of times, and we also need to add the new line here. So like that. Rn, let's just disconnect once again. Let's just clear the log file, and let's just start the server again, and let's try it once again. So now Yeah, we have like the perfect login. So someone is connected, and we also have a current amount of player, and we have the date when it happened. So now we have everything that we need, and the next step would be to prepare the package to be uploaded. I'm going to, so I already created a folder called MMORPG releases, and I'm going to create the first release, which I will call proof of concept one. And he, I'm so sorry. And here I will put the files related to the release one. First of all, we're going to have the game server part. I'm not sure why is it called game server instead of game, but whatever. And I will also create a client folder here, and I'm going to put also going to put client which we just created. So this one, and also with maybe texture cache. Do we need it? We don't really need it. It will create itself. So we are putting client here. It's only exe file for now because we don't have like any paths or something like that. So it's just file alone. And next thing which we also yes, I also forgot about one thing. So let me just fix it really quick right here. Since we will be using something called NSSM, not Sakin Service Manager, I believe. We will require a bat file to start the server. So I'm going to just name it start and then BAT, and I'm going to just put node index.js. So that would be it. So now we have everything that we need. That is my RDP. So this is the server I was talking about. It's under Windows Core. Windows Core is sort of a weird operation system where you have Windows, but it doesn't actually have any GUI. So it's just bare console application, and it doesn't have a file manager, and since I don't want to do everything using I don't want to copy file using the um, like PowerShell or something like that, some scripts. I just use Notepad default file explorer, which allows copying files pretty easily. And this is sort of a stupid thing to do, but I mean, whatever. We're going to copy all our files to the local drive C, to the root. We're copying only game file. We don't need the client to be here. And also, let's double check if okay, and I also forgot to change this thing here. So let's just stop the server here, and let's just rebuild everything for publish for Windows. Okay, and let's just not publish yet. We will copy client again. So we need to wait until the files are copied, and now they are copied. Now I'm going to open command line, and I'm going to cd to C. Let's see if our game server is actually here now. Very first thing which we need to do is we need to install npm packages as always. Npm will download the internet, and then we will be able to run the server. It's really slow because this machine is really slow. It only has one core, and it has 512 megabytes of RAM on it, which makes it perfect for the game servers. So now we have everything installed and be there. Let's just see if we can start our server on the remote machine, and let's see if we can actually connect to the remote machine. So now we don't have our server running anymore. We have our host specified as the remote host here, and if we press F9, it still works. It now has some little bit of delay, but I mean it's still usable. And if a second guy is connecting, it will say that okay, it does nothing happened. It's fine. So it says that there was actually no file for no content in the texture file, but this is totally fine. I'm not quite sure how to get rid of this log. I guess there is nothing that you can do. Same as with like this loaded texture message. So now we have everything running on the remote server. We also, let's just go to game and copy client to our POC release once again before I forgot. And let's just check it from this directory. So if I will be able to connect with to play from the client. So now first window, also second window, everything seems to be working. And besides, I still have unknown here. Why is it so? Um, so I guess the issue is that I am not able to have, I need to have a folder created called names. How is it called actually? I think it happens because I don't have this like names cache folder here. I think I need to have it. And also let's just create an empty document here and call it placeholder. Let's try it again. Exciting. Exciting. Will it work this time? So now we have the name, and the second guy also receives the name. Yeah, it's just because it couldn't find the folder, and in future releases probably we need to make sure that the folder is created. But for now, we will just leave it as it is, and it should be pre-created on your machine. Otherwise, the names feature won't work. Anyway, we have it running on the remote machine. As you can see, people are connecting and disconnecting, but it's not the way like how I actually want to run the things. So I don't want the command line to be opened all the time. For that, I would like the this server to be, I mean, game server to be started um, as a Windows service. I'm just typing and I'm like losing losing it. And for that, we are going to be using something, as I mentioned, called NSSM. And it's just called NSSM-exe. And I'm going to have to type install, and then I'm going to have a name, game server. And now I need to specify the path. And here I will also go to game server start and specify the start script. I'm going to install it. And game server is installed successfully. Now I'm going to start it. I believe, do I have status with status game server stopped? So we need to start it. So start game server. And it's started now. Let's see. And as you can see, I can I can use my command line now, and it's actually running here. I think this is our game server actually, runtime application. Let's see if it works, if it still works. So we are we able to connect? Yes, we're still able to connect, and we are still able to connect with a second character. Are we? Yes, we are. And it lags. It already lags, but I mean, it's like a potato server. It's something that I expected it to be. It would be really nice to test it on different machines. I'm going to copy it to my second laptop and see if it still works with multiple players, but I obviously will do it offline, and I'm going to put this file somewhere so you can download it and try it for yourself and see if it works for you. And also a couple of words regarding what we are going to be do next. We are going to, first of all, we need to refactor all the stuff because in current state, this project looks awful. I mean, code-wise, we need to modify it so it's easier to maintain and easier to add other features. And I'm still planning to add some of the features, like maybe fighting, inventory, NPCs, also collisions on server side, so quite a lot of stuff. And we also can just see if, oh, not that one, just see if our machine can handle the load, because currently it seems like CPU wise it's not heavy, and also internet wise it's not heavy. So I mean it should work with couple of players, I guess. So we'll see how far we can push it. Basically, I'm going to probably create a Trello board or something like that. So it's and also make task for myself in order to make sure I know what I'm going to be doing next. But the first thing which is actually required is code refactoring, and this is something that I'm going to be doing the next time. I'm also planning to change the format because this code alone is sort of boring and it's sort of long. And even though now I didn't done much, I still spent 20 minutes just struggling and copying stuff and so on. So I probably will just be showing the results and we'll be talking about what changes I've done with the code instead of making them live. But anyway, that's it. I'll just copy the files and somewhere on Google Drive probably, and I will release it and you can try this thing for yourself. Have a nice day.